Hey guys, Joel Frank here, market analyst for YouTrading, and in today's video we're going to be talking about technical analysis and technical indicators, and the one specifically that I want to look at today, it's actually a technical pattern that I look for, is called a bearish flag. Now, I'm going to use the example of Bitcoin. I've got Bitcoin here, one-day candlesticks. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin over various different time horizons, because you can find that these bearish flags can be quite informative over longer term time horizons and shorter term time horizons. So let's sort of look more recently what's been happening with Bitcoin. Let me show you exactly what I mean by a bearish flag. So a bearish flag pretty much is, imagine you're in a downtrend, which Bitcoin has been this year. You have these drops like this, but then you have, following these drops, periods of consolidation. Now, during these periods of consolidation is where you see the formation frequently of these bearish technical patterns, which I'm calling bearish flags. And these are often taken by some technicians and traders as a sort of signal that the next drop is on the way. Okay, so yeah, pretty much since like mid-July, Bitcoin was having a bit of a short-term bull run. It was moving higher, but and it was sort of forming this sort of pointy flag structure that you can see there. However, it did fail to get through this key area of resistance here. Key area of resistance here around 25,400. And then when it broke below this this bearish flag structure, well, what did we see? We saw an acceleration of selling pressure, and we've dropped all the way back from above 25k to around 20k in a matter of weeks. So yes, that is a good example of a bearish flag pattern. As that was playing out, there are a lot of people in the market on social media and stuff calling this recent bearish move after the break of this technical pattern here. Let's look at Bitcoin over a slightly shorter time horizon as well. So also works over shorter time horizons, like I've been saying. We've had a bit of a bear trend in Bitcoin the last couple of weeks after the break of this sort of longer term bearish flag pattern. But you can also see, I've got it on 4-hour candlesticks now. You can also see that these bearish flags can be relevant over shorter time horizons as well, as was the case recently in sort of mid to late August. We had this initial drop back to the sort of 21k, 22k area. Then we had that period of consolidation where we were gradually rising, formation of this sort of pennant or this flag structure, and then we had the break. Now, are we doing a repeat of this? We could well be. Okay, it looks more like we've set a range at the moment as opposed to an actual pennant, as opposed to a bearish flag, excuse me. But if Bitcoin does continue to gradually push higher, perhaps up to here, well, then we could potentially be looking at a bearish flag that looks a little bit more like this, perhaps. And then that could predict another move lower. Bear in mind, with technical analysis, guys, you've always got to marry it with the fundamental outlook. Okay, so why has Bitcoin been selling off recently from a fundamental perspective? Well, it's been tracking a move lower in equities as the Fed, which is a key market driver. You need to understand what's going on with the Fed, but the Fed last week indicating a more hawkish resolve to continue tightening, to hold rates at higher levels, despite the fact that inflation is showing some signs of coming back now, but it's still well above their target, and they want to keep interest rates restrictive for some time, which basically markets are interpreting as throughout 2023, to ensure that inflation actually does come back to their target. And bear in mind, a couple of weeks ago, markets were actually betting on rate cuts in 2023. But anyway, obviously the fundamentals match up to these recent technical moves that we've been seeing. Now, let me just show you finally on a slightly longer term time horizon that these can work over the period of sort of multiple months as well. These bearish pennant structures. Look at this bearish flag. Sorry, I keep saying bearish pennant. Look at this bearish flag formation that we had earlier this year. That was between, well, you can say it sort of started at the start of the year and didn't properly break until May, really. Um, but we were in a clear downtrend. For those that were sort of monitoring the fundamentals, the rising of inflation after the Ukraine war, the fact that inflation has already been high anyway, the fact that the Fed was incrementally becoming more and more hawkish. Um, yeah, that's pretty much an example of a longer term time horizon. So anyway, guys, I hope that video has shed some light on bearish flags and what they can look like, how to look out for them, how to marry them up with the fundamentals. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.